Hello again, it's me. If you're lying still in the dark right now, with the quiet whirring of a fan in your ears and your hands still clinging tightly to your phone, then let me whisper something to you. Tonight, we won't be telling fairy tales. We won't be talking about some sweeping, romantic love story either. Tonight, I'm going to take you further beyond your soft blanket. Beyond the roof above your head, beyond Earth itself. Imagine this. You wake up not in your familiar bedroom, but in a narrow metal chamber. Strange buttons surround you, machines hum in the background, and outside the window the endless black of space. Oh, bird song, no voices. Only the cold silvery glow of the moon. Worse still, you don't know how you got here. And worse than that, you're not alone. Listen closely, because this isn't just a story. This is a deep dream, a very deep one, where each day is a challenge, and every moment could be the last. Are you ready? Then let us begin. 7 days on the moon and beyond. Day 1. The moon has no smell. Hello if you're lying in bed right now, still holding your phone, drifting somewhere between awake and asleep. Then let me tell you about a journey, a strange journey that, I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure ever really happened. All I know is that I opened my eyes and found myself on the moon. Oh, sounds, no people. Oh, Wi-Fi signal, and the very first thing I noticed. The moon has no smell at all. Oh, scent of rain-soaked grass. Oh, aroma of food, no whiff of a stranger in an elevator. Just a space so clean it feels unnerving. The kind of clean that makes you feel like the mess. I was inside a small station about the size of a dorm room. For faded metallic walls, a bed bolted to the floor, a mini kitchen, a control panel, and a sink with no water. The only thing that felt remotely friendly was an old mirror with a cracked corner, where someone with messy hair and glassy eyes was staring back at me. Looked a lot like me. I tried walking around. The gravity wasn't like Earth's, but not quite zero either. Everything moved like in a slow-motion dream. I stepped but felt like I floated. I opened the food cabinet. It was full of freeze-dried packs. Potato soup, meatballs, energy bars, water, and gel packs. OT, exactly appetizing, but when you're on the moon, food delivery isn't an option, is it? I activated the comm system. I reply, just a soft beep. Beep like the heartbeat of a machine still alive. I tried opening the outer door. Big mistake. Outside was a grey, endless sky and an emptiness so silent it felt alive. Oh, wind, no trees. Oh, grey. Just the absolute absence of everything familiar. I shut the door quickly, heart racing. Then I looked out through the tiny window, for the first time realizing Earth, round and blue, was hanging in the distance so far away I could cover it with a single finger. And I thought the world I know is now just a dot, hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. And this place, empty of people, is somehow where I live now. That night I sat alone, chewing on rehydrated soup heated by a laser coil, and wrote in my journal, Day 1. No one said anything to me. No one knows where I am, but I'm still breathing. And somehow the moon isn't as terrifying as I imagined. At least not yet, I told myself. It's just a dream. Then curled into a silver sleeping pod, like a sardine in a tin, and drifted off, wrapped in the silence of space. Only in that dream I thought I heard a tapping sound. Faint, far away. But I'm sure I imagined it, pretty sure. Day 2. Footsteps in the silver dust. Hello again, or perhaps I should say we. Because I know at this very moment, you're still here with me, in this long, cool dream, where gravity floats and air is as precious as gold. The second day on the moon begins without an alarm. There are no clocks here, only the pale light through a narrow window, slanting into the sleeping pod, reminding you that time still moves slow and cold. I opened my eyes to a familiar crackling sound, the faint rustle of lunar dust brushing against the station's outer shell. At first I thought it was the soft pop of a fireplace. But no, there's no wood here. Oh wind, the moon has no air to carry sound. Unless that sound comes from withy. I crept out of the sleeping pod, still wrapped in my bulky suit, holding a small flashlight. Every step echoed in the metal chamber. The station was silent like a winter night, peaceful almost to the point of dread. Until I saw the footprints, mine a trail of prints, clear in the silvery grey dust lining the hallway. The boots were small and narrow. There is no one else here. At least that's what I thought. I followed them to the airlock where they stopped. The system was locked, no alarms. Oh breach, but the footprints were still there. As if something had entered, without ever opening the door. I didn't open it, I'm not that reckless. But I didn't walk away either. Instead I sat down and wrote everything in my log. The one thing keeping my mind from drifting. I recorded day 2 unidentified movement. Oh strange sounds, no visuals. But also impossible to deny. I tried to eat breakfast. A cold pouch labelled teriyaki chick. Though nothing about it reminded me of either chick or teriyaki, it tasted like salted cardboard. I stared out the window at the sunlit grey surface, scattered with craters and jagged stone. Nothing moved, but I swear something was looking back at me. Day 2 on the moon ended like that. Clear but unforgettable. When the red sleep lights flickered, I curled up, whispered to myself like one might to a child. It's just a dream, just a dream. But sometimes dreams are where the truth comes looking. Day 3, the shadow by the crater. Hello again, you're still here. So am I though. Honestly, this morning I asked myself, am I still sane? Day 3 on the moon began not with a sound, but with a sensation, a coldness. Just on my skin, but inside my thoughts. Here night time can drop to minus 170 degrees Celsius. But what makes you shiver is the loneliness. Thick, absolute, like vacuum. But emotional, I woke up with a strange image in my head. A pair of long, black eyes like scratches across the visor of a helmet. I opened my eyes, nothing there. Just the station again, small, silver, faded. Suffocating as always after breakfast. Some corn porridge that I had to imagine the taste of. I decided to go outside, to inspect the solar panel array behind the module. I told myself, but the truth was, I just didn't want to be alone inside anymore. Outside the moon was the same lifeless ivory painting. Oh colour, no sound. Oh one. Each step I took kicked up that fine silver grey dust, drifting lazily as if even time here moved. On foot I circled around crater 7, a lower area previously marked for potential subsurface ice, and that's when I saw a shadow. Too long and faint, no, it was sharp, defined, like something carved out of the light. It stood maybe 20 steps away, motionless. Still I raised my hand to wave, nothing. I spoke into the radio. This is Luna 17. I'm observing an unidentified form near crater 7, requesting satellite recon confirmation. A response. I took one step forward. The shadow didn't move. I took another, and it vanished, not faded. Blurred like a mirage, just gone as if it had never been there. I ran to where it had been. Only a dip in the terrain, and some strange markings in the dust. Footprints, not tire tracks. More like something had slithered through. My heart was pounding too fast. For a place that's supposed to be completely lifeless. Or maybe it's too alive, in ways I don't want to understand. I returned to the station faster than I ever had, locked the hatch, turned off every exterior light. Then sat alone by the heater, clutching my journal, scribbling with a trembling hand. Day 3, something's wrong. I'm not sure if I'm imagining things, but that shadow, it wasn't mine. On the moonlight doesn't lie. But it doesn't answer either. That night I didn't take off the suit. Didn't trust anyone, not even myself. And for the first time, I wished I could wake up in my tiny bed on Earth, to the sound of garbage trucks or some annoying alarm. Instead of this silence, too perfect to be safe, just a dream, right? Day for the knocking from outside. Hello again if you're still listening. Then I'm still telling the story. And today might be the day I actually started to feel afraid. OT, the kind of fear you explain with words, like fatigue or stress, but a primal fear. Like the kind our ancestors felt when they heard something growl in the forest and knew they weren't the only ones out there. Day 4 on the moon began in silence. Too silent if you ask me. Sound from the air filtration system. Paying from the fully charged solar cells. I opened my eyes hard slow. And I heard something knock. A soft tapping from somewhere outside the station. At first I thought maybe it's thermal expansio. The hull adjusting to temperature changes. But then it came again, knock. Knock this time clearer. More rhythmic. As if someone was trying to get my attention. I froze for a few seconds, then staggered out of bed, still in my sleep clothes, which honestly no one needs on the moon. My hands were shaking so hard I knocked over my vacuum-sealed breakfast. I didn't care, I just kept staring at the round glass viewport. The only place any outside sound might slip through. Even faintly I tried to calm myself. Could be a rock fall, could be pressure shifts. Could be just my own mind playing tricks. But when I got close enough to look out the window, what I saw made me almost vomit up my non-existent breakfast. A handprint, yes. A human handprint. Faint smudged across the dust-shielded outer glass. 5 fingers splayed out, sliding downward slightly. Like someone had leaned against it and then vanished. But how there's no one else here? I'm the only one in this station, and the moon is not the kind of place where strangers casually knock on your door. I scrambled to check the security systems. External cams beacon status. Surface tone, everything read normal. But within that normal, I felt something profoundly wrong. Like the system itself had been lulled into silence by something else. I sent an emergency signal to Earth. A short voice clip, this is Luna 17. An explained external noise detected. Requesting satellite reco. Possible surface contact, physical trace confirmed. And then I sat still the rest of the day. I didn't go outside, didn't open a single hatch. I wore noise-cancelling headphones, playing back recordings of my own voice, just to hear a human sound. In my journal I wrote day 4. If this is a dream, why does the dream knock exactly 3 times? And do you know what the worst part is? When night fell, the knocking came back, knock. Knock as if to say you're not really alone. OT here, not on the moon and me. Just another dreamer, foolish enough to touch the impossible. I sat curled up, hoping to open my eyes and see a lazy ceiling for some flickering yellow bulb and know the dream was over. But sodly, I'm still here and night 4 has only just begun. Day 5, the footsteps outside. I woke up in darkness, not because of the alarm. OT, because of my stomach growling like a war drum. I woke up because I heard footsteps. Yes, footsteps on the moo. I lay still, didn't move. Just listened. Plack. Very soft but steady. As if someone were walking in metal shoes on a floor made of silence. I couldn't tell where it was coming from. On the moon, where the air is thinner than ghosts, and sound is swallowed whole, a footstep sounds like it's happening inside your own head. I turned on the room light. Everything was just as I left it. The food cabinet running low. My flight suit floating in the corner. A cracked mirror reflecting a version of me, with messy hair and slightly wild eyes. I walked to the small window. Looked out, nothing. Just the silver-white surface, cracked, desolate and still as a post-apocalyptic desert. But then on the lunar dust out there, the kind that hasn't been disturbed in millions of years, I saw footprints. OT mine, they were longer, deeper. Looked like they belonged to something taller. A person walking in a wide arc around my station, before disappearing over the distant ridge. I shivered. I activated the comm system once again. I said, Alpha 13 calling Earth. Is anyone there? I think I'm not alone. A response, just the slow, indifferent beep beep. Beep like a mechanical heartbeat that doesn't care about human fear. I decided not to go outside. Instead, I started digging through every document I could find in the station: surface maps, survival manuals, a few scribbled notes from people who used to be here, and then in a worn notebook, I found a single sentence, barely legible. Night 5. I saw something near the ridge. It looked back. I closed the notebook, felt my pulse speed up a little. That evening I rushed through a pouch of less chicken soup rehydrated by solar heat. Tasted like cardboard, but it kept me alive. I turned off every light, sat in the dark, back against the wall, eyes locked on the small round window. About an hour later I saw it. A shadow, no clear shape. Oh sound, just a movement. Like something gliding past the station. Light as mist, but it was real. Because I saw it leave another footprint in the dust below. I didn't move. Just stared, then it vanished behind the station wall. I didn't sleep that night. I kept repeating to myself over and over, this is a dream, it has to be a dream. But when I finally closed my eyes, the last thing I saw was a second footprint. Brand new, right outside the airlock door. You're still here on that familiar bed. Blue light from your screen painting the ceiling. And I'm still here too. The quiet voice whispering just beside your ear. Today is day 6, and if you thought the footsteps outside the station last night were the strangest part, then you haven't seen the moon sky at dawn. Full moon, day 6. A light that doesn't belong here. I hadn't slept, or maybe I had without knowing. Either way, when I opened my eyes, the entire station was glowing. OT from the lights, not from the solar batteries. It was coming from outside. I stumbled to my feet, rushed to the small window. My heart skipped a beat. The entire ground outside was glowing. OT white, not gold, but blue, a deep, cold blue, more like something from the ocean floor than from outer space. And right there at the ridge, where I'd seen the shadow yesterday, something was glowing, like a cluster of bioluminescent coral, motionless but strangely radiant. I whispered to myself, maybe I'm dreaming. A dream nested inside another. But the smell in the air, the dry scent of emergency rations, the musty fabric of the suit, the metallic tang of the door frame, it all felt too real. I turned on the recorder. OT to send back to Earth this time, just to document it, in case I'm no longer here to finish the story. Day 6, unknown light source outside the station. Oh, signal from Earth, no signs of life. But I feel something, watching that feeling. I can't shake it. I suited up carefully like it was my first time. Grabbed a flashlight and a stainless steel spoon. Because honestly, I had nothing else to defend myself with. When I stepped outside, the footprints from yesterday were still there, but next to them a new trail. Smaller, like something with 4 limbs. Had crawled around the station overnight. I made my way toward the light. The closer I got, the more I realized the glow came from a spherical object, a kind of translucent cuckoo, resting silently among the rocks. Something inside it was moving gently, as if breathing. I bent down, shone the flashlight on it, and staggered back. OT out of fear, but because the thing inside had a face. A blurry human-like face that looked eerily like mine. I ran, didn't look back. And in my head only one question echoed. If that thing was me, then who am I running away from it? I sat alone. Oh, food, no more journaling. The moon's sky has no stars, only darkness, cold, infinite. Then the radio came to life again, a whisper between static. 13 has recorded biological duplicate. I jumped to my feet. Who is that? Say that again, but only static followed. A hiss like wind. blowing past your ears inside a dream you can't escape. You see, sometimes loneliness on the moon gets clever. It learns to mimic your voice, just to have someone to talk to you. Tomorrow is day 7, the final day. If you're still there, I'll tell you how it ends. But if I've gone silent, remember this. Sometimes dreams drift further than the moon, and not all of them find their way back. Day 7, the final dream before waking up. When you stay in one place too long, whether it's on the moon or deep inside yourself, things start to feel strangely natural in their weirdness. Day 7 began in absolute silence. Oh, distant thuds, no scratching at the door. Oh, eerie blue light from nowhere. Just me, and the countdown clock still ticking toward Rita. Though by now I'm no longer sure I'll ever make it back. I had breakfast, the last freeze-dried meal. Lentil soup that tasted vaguely like chilled cardboard. Still better than nothing. Afterward I checked all the systems again, oxygen, water, solar batteries, everything suspiciously normal. And the radio still silent. Except once, just once, when I mumbled aloud without meaning to go, I don't know who I am anymore. And from the speaker came a voice whispering, exactly like mine, neither do I. I turned the radio off, not out of fear, but because that answer was too true. By noon I decided to go outside one last time. I walked toward the far hill, the one I'd never visited in all 6 days. The ground was covered in pale grey dust, soft and powdery. Each step sunk slightly like a heartbeat. I didn't know what I was hoping to find at the top. A signal, a rescue ship, or just a reason to believe this was all a dream. And then I saw it, a tall stone slab standing upright in the open nothingness, and on it a message handwritten in my language. If you are the original, turn back. If you are the copy, keep dreaming. I couldn't breathe in that moment. I didn't know if I was the one who wrote it, or the one reading it. I just stood there, hand on the cold stone, and laughed. A low, scratchy laugh, soft as moon dust that evening. I returned to the station, shut the door, and for the first time in 7 days, I truly slept. No fear, oh doubt. I closed my eyes and let everything dissolve into the dream, because if this was a dream, I wanted to stay until the very end. And if this was real, then I had survived 7 days in a place one was ever meant to last. That long Milky Way pictorial card. And then I woke up in a blindingly white room. Oh station, no dust. Oh moon, only a voice. Mechanical test subject 743. Simulation complete. 7 days on unidentified lunar surface. Status stable, memory fragmented. Emotion extended dream state. I wanted to ask, who am I? But no sound came from my throat. Only the white light wrapping around me. And somewhere still whispering a familiar narration. When you dream long enough, reality begins to lose its shape. But don't worry, a dream is the only place. You can be anyone and live anywhere. You're here with me, not quite awake yet. But you will be, and when you are, you'll remember once in a dream. You spent 7 days on the moon and beyond. Would you like me to tell you another dream? A farther planet, another dimensio. Just close your eyes. I'll still be here waiting and ready to tell the rest.